Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I'll bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I'll bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
Back with you on the leader, Dieter Kurtenbach, hanging out until 10 p.m. We'll do it again tomorrow night, and then I will be with you for Giants postgame on Friday. Are you getting excited? I'm getting a little antsy, man. We're over the hump. It's coming. It's happening. Friday night, they're going to be playing one of these two teams that's playing in the National League wildcard game. Should this game ever end, it's currently 1-1 in the bottom of the sixth. The St. Louis Cardinals have just lifted Adam Wainwright, who was masterful. Exactly what you would expect from a veteran who's just been so good this season. Just curveball after curveball after curveball. The only mistake tonight, really, was one that he hung to Justin Turner, and Justin Turner absolutely obliterated into the left field stands. But Adam Wainwright lifted 5 1/3 innings, 1 earned run, that Justin Turner homer, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Pretty good, 95 pitches. But the Cardinals are into the bullpen. Max Scherzer lifted after 4 1/3 innings. They've already used 2 different pitchers out of the Dodger bullpen. Keep using those pitchers. I want both of these teams to go through like 9 pitchers. And I understand that there's an off day. I just want that bullpen taxed. I want there to be 700 pitches in this game. That's what I want. We can all root for that, even though the game would probably last until Thursday afternoon. Let's talk some football. Jake Hutchinson, KMBR.com, 49ers beat writer, joins us now. He's one of our favorites here on KMBR tonight. Jake, how you doing this evening?
I'm great. I'm just watching the game like you. I just found out from you that Wainwright got pulled. So,
wow, you're a little behind.
It's going to get dicey, man. It's going to get dicey.
Well, I'll let you know if anything happens, and then you can see it 3.5 minutes later. I don't know what's going on with that Chromecast of yours, but it seems a bit off. It's my pleasure. What went down at 49-49 today? Because I got some texts this afternoon as I'm at Giants saying that Kyle might have been a little bit defensive about some things.
I'd say today was Kyle. I think he may have overreacted to what Trey Lance did last Sunday, which I think I maybe did a little bit of the same, but it wasn't so much of an overreaction as it was Lance looked jittery, right?
Okay.
And, he jumped around the pocket a lot, made some weird decisions. Sometimes there was a read there that he just didn't throw the ball, made up for it with his legs. But today was Kyle kind of raving about Lance and saying, okay, yeah, he actually did a little bit better than I expected. The weird thing for him today was the whole Jimmy Garoppolo calf strain thing, which, Kyle's assessment was exactly what you'd expect, where he's like, yeah, Jimmy could play, but, he's hurt, so he might not play, but he could play, but, we just won't know until the end of the week.
Jimmy talked, though, too. What did he say?
Yeah, it's listed as a calf contusion. He's like, yeah, I pulled it a little. I strained it. I pulled it a little bit.
It's kind of wild to me because Jimmy on Sunday comes out and he's like, I'm out for a couple of weeks. Like, there was no two ways about it. He's like, if there's one thing Jimmy Garoppolo, know, it's injuries, and this injury is not good. I'm out for a couple of weeks. And then Kyle comes out on Monday and he's like, not if I have anything to say about it. And now they're just kind of stuck in a weird limbo. Like, do we have any resolution here? Like, who the hell's starting on Sunday?
I think it's Trey Lance, and that's based on Jimmy saying basically, yeah, I'm hurting a little bit.
Oh my God.
He was asked basically, would you be at 100% or would you be playing through pain? And he said pretty clearly, yeah, I'd be toughing it out. It hurts real bad.
Appreciate the honesty there. You gotta tip your hat on that one. Give it up for the faithful.
And we've seen what happens when Jimmy plays even at 100%. So last time he toughed it out, did not go well.
You talking about the Dolphins game last year?
I'm talking about all of last year, pretty much. And I think it would be pretty surprising to me at this point if it wasn't Trey Lance on Sunday.
So is this a true passing of the torch in your eyes? Is Jimmy Garoppolo's time as the starting quarterback done? Or is this we do this for 1 week, we go into a bye week, and maybe things change against the Colts on Sunday Night Football after the bye week?
I think it's a bellwether game to see for Kyle, basically, okay, can Trey do this? Can I just ride this the rest of the way and sort of figure it out and take the bye week and just build the rest of the offense around him? And I think that could be part of the narrative where, saying, hey, Jimmy's not quite ready, but he could come back. It's a minor thing.
Right.
Giving it sort of open-ended timeline where they could say, actually, it was worse than we expected. It got worse. And they can sort of lean into it that way. Or if Trey plays bad, they can lean into it the other way and say, yep, Jimmy's good to go. Bye week was perfect. He's good to go for the Colts. So I think they're leaving it open-ended. And, I don't know for sure that that's their plan, but I think it's an approach that says, okay, well, if it doesn't go well with Trey, we're giving ourselves a route to go back to Jimmy. I suspect they go to Trey. It goes better than it goes with Jimmy, especially since the Cardinals are a pretty leaky run defense. Yes. And there's a lot of opportunity there. Mm-hmm. I suspect Trey plays well, and they stick with him the rest of the way. But I think their approach is leaving it open-ended in case it does go, really poorly.
Listen, you got to hedge sometime in life. It'd just be great if the 49ers weren't doing so much hedging in so many different areas. Let me ask you this. From my perspective, this is a huge week for Kyle Shanahan. Something that I talk about a lot as it pertains to college coaches, which I was kind of in the carousel there, not as an actual college coach, but I spent a lot of time reporting on college coaching and things like that. I think at the NFL level, it's applicable as well. What you came from, you should be good at. So if you're an offensive head coach, you should have a good offense. That just stands to reason. If you're, a defensive head coach, you should have a damn good defense. You were a coordinator, now you're the head coach. You should probably follow through on the promise that you came with. Kyle Shanahan's offense right now is a pain to watch. And I understand that there are injuries. I understand that his quarterback, there's a lot of stuff going on. At the same time, get the job done because it has been painful to watch more often than not since he's been here. This feels like a huge week. You said bellwether earlier. This feels like a bellwether for Kyle Shanahan, too. He gets a week here, plus whatever he had in training camp, to get Trey Lance, who can do so many more things than Jimmy Garoppolo can do, at least physically. He has a week to get that guy ready to do some stuff that moves the ball down the field. Do you see it the same way? Do you feel like Kyle has a lot to prove 100%. Here?
I think this is a huge week for him, and I've given Kyle a lot of credit over the years. I think a lot of us have, but I think it's at a point now where it's like you bet everything on this kid, and you saw what his skill set was in the game. Now you have to sort of realize what that skill set is currently and, acknowledge that where it could be in the future is not where it is right now. So what Kyle has to do, and, it's corny to be like, this is what a coach has to do, but he really does have to go into this game and build it around Trey's current skill set, yes, do things that work for him and not necessarily what the Shanahan offense is supposed to be or what he's, typified it by.
The ideologue thing that Kyle does.
Right. Absolutely. And I also think that as, Trey develops, it will open up more stuff that Kyle likes to do. Just watching Kyler Murray, there are some throws where, no one on this 49ers roster has ever attempted them. And, maybe Trey Lance could be a guy who attempts some throws. That would be an interesting concept. And I think
you mean that you can throw it somewhere else than behind the line of scrimmage and directly over the middle 5 yards down the field? Like there are other places you can throw the ball?
Cardinals have apparently cracked the code. You're allowed to do that.
My goodness. What a year we live in. What a time to be alive.
Right. And anyway, the point is I think Kyle really does need to take advantage of this week and just say, okay, let's take advantage of a Cardinals defense that, let's be honest, isn't all that great. Run the ball at them. I think if they can really, long drives to really grind that defense down with the run game, a lot of just zone read stuff, a lot of RPOs, Although, Trey over the middle is, quick slants. It's a little dicey, but a lot of bootleg stuff where he's on the move. I think if he can do that stuff, get the defense tired, keep Kyler Murray off the field where the Cardinals offense doesn't get in a rhythm, this could be a hugely positive week for him. But it's on Kyle not to, be stubborn about what his offense is supposed to be.
You mentioned Trey Lance's skill set in the game, and what I've been saying is that it looks like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but he gave the 49ers a better chance to win just because he's tremendously naturally talented. His ability to run, you can't teach that. He just has a feel for it, and I'm so glad in a weird, twisted way that they were playing the Seahawks, because the other guy who sort of has this unexplainable ability to scramble around and just turn his back to a defense and things just work out for him is Russell Wilson. And sort of juxtaposing Wilson and Lance, and obviously one is incredible and going to the Hall of Fame and the other one is a baby, it did seem as if they kind of have a bit of synergy there, that there's some similarities there. You grind the tape, man. I know. You send me a lot of these clips, and I'm very appreciative of them. What did you see out of Trey Lance? Was he as lost as maybe people thought he was? Your first watch, you're thinking this guy's kind of running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Did it look that bad when you got the all-22? Were there things that maybe the game broadcast didn't show us with Trey Lance?
Right. So I think there are a few things where first throw was Jimmy's missed dump screen to Kyle Juszczyk in week 2 against the Eagles.
We forget
2.
it.
Yeah, twice as worse. Then he overthrew Debo, but also I think that was intentional because he didn't want Debo to die. And that's actually one thing that he did later, where if a throw's not there, he didn't throw a lot of hospital balls. I like that. Jimmy has thrown quite a few of those.
My goodness.
But
going to overwhelm the hospital system.
Totally. And in terms of reading the field, I saw 3 or 4 times where, he kind of panicked and he missed out on a couple of throws, a couple of checkdowns that were there. They were clearly there. He's moving around. There's one pretty egregious one where he almost closed his eyes, ducked out of there, and started running while Kyle Juszczyk was right in front of him, and just tucked and run and didn't look to throw while he was not keeping his eyes upfield. That stuff was a little worrisome, but also to be expected given that he's in that situation. I will say, though, that a lot of the times the offensive line took an unreasonable amount of just pure passing snaps based on the way the game broke down.
Okay.
They started to get really tired. McGlinchey started to get beat. Daniel Brunskill started to get beat. Laken Tomlinson a little bit. Jalen Moore was actually pretty good. But the offensive line got tired. And so, and the receivers weren't separating too well, nor were they, getting open in scramble drill type situations because it sounds like they're not really used to that.
Yeah.
Why
would you be?
Although there was one chance for Trey to, throw it to Debo on one of those. But for the most part, he made plays. He kept things alive. He made, he gained them yardage. He converted on I think, basically 2 or 3 fourth downs, one of which was penalized. He moved the ball. He had them competing, and it didn't look all that pretty. There's a lot to clean up, but the offense was moving the ball, and it moved the ball a little bit with Jimmy, but they also converted with Trey. Right. So the net of it was that it was a pretty positive performance. Didn't throw any interceptions. Bobby Wagner had one where he got in there, but that was also a great play by him, and there was enough pace on it where it didn't get picked off. But overall, I was pretty impressed with him, especially given the situation and that it wasn't a game plan tailored to his, skill set right now.
Yeah, it was like he was running the Jimmy Garoppolo playbook, but with a player who's the opposite of Jimmy Garoppolo, and in good ways and bad. So that makes sense. Where is this Niners defense? We don't talk about this unit as much. We were talking to Kevin Clark earlier. His suggestion is that your defense will never be as bad, injuries permitting, of course, than it is at the beginning of the season. It's just you don't tackle, you don't have training camp, and you have to ramp up physicality. And the Niners defense, I think, has been it was pretty good against Seattle. I don't mind what I'm seeing from the Niners defense. Where do things sit for you? Because I was talking them up. I'm having to hedge a little bit, but I still think they're good. Where do you stand with the Niners defense right now? Because that's an important part of this equation.
I'm with you. It's not really the problem. Sometimes there's a little there was like one time where Russell Wilson just missed, a wide open throw to DK Metcalf where Fred Warner didn't sink deep enough or Mosley didn't try. There are a few things in coverage where Warner hasn't quite been the all-pro player that he was last year, which is a little worrisome.
Yeah, what's up with that? What do you think's going on there?
I'm not sure. The worst game was in Green Bay. I'm not sure if it's just a new scheme with DeMeco Ryans. Well, it's not really a new scheme.
Well, they're bringing him up to the line of scrimmage a lot, right? They're trying to do that sort of Mike Zimmer A-gap stunt thing. Maybe don't put the guy who can completely cover the middle of the field away from the middle of the field. That's just a thought, but I'm no defensive coordinator.
I think they've taken him away from some playmaking situations, and defenses are also sort of really aware of where he is and exactly what sort of depth he has, or offenses and looking elsewhere. Right. I'd say for the most part, though, you got to be happy where this defense is at. The defensive line has been fantastic. There's always a few situations where, you get gashed. I think the first couple games they were getting beat up the middle, but, Maurice Hurst is a significant upgrade over Zach Kerr in run defense. Aziz has been playing phenomenally.
Yes.
I think you're getting Drake Kirkpatrick actually played a pretty dang good game, and Josh Norman's been solid too.
Yep.
And the safeties have been great. So, I'm not really all that worried about this defense. I think it's going to have games where you go, okay, that wasn't great, and you're going to have games where they were phenomenal. But I think on the whole, it's a pretty solid defense, and if you get an offense that's competent and putting points on the board, you're not going to really be like, oh, well, the 49ers defense is not the problem.
What happens this weekend? You're not. It doesn't sound to me as if you're as high on Arizona as a lot of other people are. People are very quick to anoint, and Kyler Murray is awesome. I mean, he is unbelievable. But outside of that, I can see where you might be able to fade the Cardinals a little bit. But then you also have Trey Lance or maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know. What do you make of the situation? I know the game's a long ways away, and there's a lot of stuff to figure out. But as we sit here right now, Cardinals are favored by 5.5. How do you feel about that line? How do you feel about the Niners?
I like the Niners. And I know it's weird. I thought they would lose against Seattle. I do think they'll win this weekend, and part of it is just the Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury, and not me just not trusting him as a head coach, and there being some weirdness about every Cardinals game. They're like the Seahawks, but in certain aspects. But
maybe this is just an
range.
NFC West problem, because the Rams don't exactly play straightforward games either, and Lord knows there's nothing straightforward about the Niners right now.
Totally. It's a mess. But what I see is if you can, sort of run the ball effectively, which the Cardinals are one of the worst run defenses so far in the league. If you let Trey Lance run zone read, which Trey Sermon looked a lot more comfortable running some of those plays than he did, the week prior. I think he's getting comfortable. I think Elijah Mitchell might be back this week, which would be huge. I think if you can, I know it's corny to be like, establish the run. But truly, if they can do some of that stuff, boot Trey out, this Cardinals defense, the only sort of mobile quarterback they've faced so far is Trevor Lawrence, who he's mobile, but he's also on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are coached by Urban Meyer. So I'm not putting too much stock in that. Trey Lance, no one has any tape on this guy. If you're going to go back and watch North Dakota State to try and figure out what's going on, good luck with that. Back in 2019, I think the novelty of Trey Lance, the defense plays a solid game, and the offense basically keeps Kyler Murray off the field. The 49ers possess the ball for, let's say, 35 minutes to 25, something like that, or 40 to 20. Keep the Cardinals' offense off the field as much as possible. I think they win this game.
Now we're talking. Jake Hutchinson, KMBR.com. He covers the 49ers, does a bang-up job, and he's picking the Niners to win this weekend. You can't ask for anything more than that. Check out all Jake's stuff again, KMBR.com. Jake, thanks so much, buddy. I'll let you get back to what game are you watching? Is it the wild card game or the Warriors preseason game, or you just grinding some old film?
I'm watching both Cardinals. Watching Cardinals film and Cardinals versus Dodgers.
This is why you're the best in the biz, bud. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you having me on, bud.
Jake Hutchinson. Listen, I go to Jake for clear, no-nonsense analysis, right? Like Jake is, I don't want to put him on blast here, but Jake needs to stop texting me at 1 o'clock in the morning with like, check out this awesome handoff from Brunskill to Mac. And yeah, it's awesome, and I really enjoy it, and it's interesting, and yeah. But also I'm trying to sleep here, so he's just really into it. And if he says the 49ers are going to win this weekend, then I should just shut the hell up and just listen to Jake, because I got a lot of worries. I'm a man full of worries, full of regret. And Jake's like, it's going to be okay. That's what I heard there. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to take his advice. You're listening to KMBR and KMBR FM San Francisco, the sports leader and a Cumulus station. We got to run some ads. I'm very sorry to say we got to do it. By the way, 1-1 in the top of the 7th inning. Blake Trinan on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. This game might never end. When it does, maybe if it's before 10 o'clock, we'll get on Dalton Johnson of NBC Sports Bay Area to break down the matchup between the winner of this NL wildcard game and the San Francisco Giants, led by Logan Webb, on Friday, Oracle Park. I'm getting excited. I'm getting amped. Also, the Warriors playing some preseason basketball just a little bit south of Oracle Park. They're trailing the Nuggets by 4 points, but they were down big early. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Warriors. You know what? Let's talk about that next. It's KMBR Tonight on the Sports Leader.
Every day, thousands of hackers try to steal your crypto. But Arculus uses air-gapped technology by forming a protective barrier that insulates you from hackers and secures your crypto. Order yours at getarculus.com.